Good morning everybody. Welcome back all of you in class 8 science classes, and as you know that we have started chapter 9 reproduction in animals, and today we are going to start the next topic, that is fertilization. Students, in our previous video we have studied about the male reproductive organ system and female reproductive organ system, and we know that ova is called female gamete and sperm is called male gamete. So now we'll study the next step, that is fertilization. The first step in the process of reproduction is the fusion of sperm and an ovum. Sperm as a male gamete and ovum as a female gamete. So the first step of the process of reproduction is the fusion of sperm and an ovum. When sperm come in contact with an egg, one of the sperms may fuse with the egg. Such fusion of the egg and the sperm is called fertilization. That is given in figure 9.5. You can observe that sperm comes with the contact of ovum and they fuse together, and this process is called fertilization. So you can see in the fertilization as given in figure 9.5, the fusion of male gamete, that is sperm, with the female gamete, that is ovum, to form a zygote during a sexual reproduction is called fertilization. The result in the formation of fertilized egg. Now this egg, after fusion, this egg is called fertilized egg or zygote. So this result in the formation of fertilized egg or zygote, that is given in figure 9.6. Students, you can observe the structure of zygote. Now this is the fusing nuclei, that means fusing of two nuclei, one nuclei of ovum and one nuclei of sperm. So you know that zygote is the beginning of a new individual. So what is zygote? Zygote is a fertilized egg that is formed as a result of fusion of sperm and ovum. So it is the result of fertilization. So the fusion of male and female gamete to form zygote during the sexual reproduction is called fertilization, and zygote is a fertilized egg. It is the first cell of the new organism. The process of fertilization is the meeting of an egg cell from the mother and the sperm cell from the father. So the new individual inherits some characteristics from the mother and some from the father. Look at your brother or sister. See if you can recognize some character in them similar to those of your mother or your father. Fertilization which take place inside the female body is called internal fertilization. So students, now we are going to study about the mode of fertilization. So basically the fertilization of an egg by a sperm can make place either inside the body of a female or outside its body. So there are two types of fertilization in animals. These are external fertilization and internal fertilization. So fertilization which takes place inside the female body is called internal fertilization. Internal fertilization occur in many animals including humans, cows, dogs and hens. So students, the fertilization which occur inside the female's body is called external fertilization, and the fertilization which take place inside the female body is called internal fertilization. So internal fertilization is observed in many animals including humans also, cow, dogs and hens. So the fertilization which occur inside the female body is called internal fertilization, and in internal fertilization the eggs are fertilized by the sperm inside the female's body to form zygote. In the process the male animal release its sperm into the female's body, and these sperms move to the egg and fertilize it. You will be surprised to know that in many animals, fertilization takes place outside the body of the female. In these animals, fertilization takes place in water. Let us find out how this happens. In activity 9.1, visit some ponds and slow flowing streams during spring or rainy season. Look out for cluster of frogs' egg floating in water. Write down the color and the size of the egg. So students, the fertilization which occurs outside the female's body is called external fertilization. And in amphibians like frogs and toads and fishes, external fertilization take place. So during spring and rainy season, frog and toads move to ponds or slow flowing stream. The female lays hundreds of delicate eggs. A layer of jelly holds the egg together and provides protection to the egg. As you can observe in figure 9.7, eggs of frog. It is bounded by jelly-like substance that give protection to them. So as the eggs are laid, the male release a large number of sperms. Each sperm swims randomly in water with the help of its long tail. Then the sperm come in contact with the eggs, and this result in fertilization. So the sperm come in the contact with eggs, and this result in fertilization. This type of fertilization in which the fusion of male and female take place outside the body of female is called external fertilization, and it is very common in aquatic animals such as fish and starfish. So students, this is all about the types of fertilization. So we have studied the two types of fertilization, external fertilization and internal fertilization. In external fertilization, we can say that the fertilization which occurred outside the female's body is called external fertilization. For example, frog, fishes. And in internal fertilization, the fertilization which occur inside the female's body is called internal fertilization. That means in internal fertilization, the eggs are fertilized by the sperm inside the female's body to form zygote. For example, internal fertilization take place in animals, humans like mammals, human and birds, reptiles and insects. So this is all about the types of fertilization. Now one more thing we will study here, that have you heard of test tube babies? Bujo and Paheli's teacher once told them in the class that in some women, oviduct are blocked. These women are unable to bear babies because sperms cannot reach the egg for fertilization. In such cases, doctors collect freshly released egg and the sperm and keep them together for a few hours for IVF. IVF means in vitro fertilization. Fertilization outside the body. In case fertilization occurs, the zygote is allowed to develop for about a week, and then it is placed in the mother's uterus. Complete development takes place in the uterus and the baby is born like any other baby. So babies born through this technique are called test tube babies. This term is actually misleading because babies cannot grow in test tubes. So in some women, the fallopian tube or oviduct are blocked to some reason. These women are unable to bear babies because sperms cannot reach the egg for fertilization. So in such cases, doctors collect freshly released egg and sperm and keep them together for a few hours for IVF, that is in vitro fertilization. That means fertilization outside the body, and in case fertilization occur, the zygote is allowed to develop for about a week and then it is placed in the mother's uterus or womb. then complete development takes place in the uterus and the baby is born like any other baby. So babies born through this technique are called test tube babies. So students, as we have studied about the fertilization, so now we will study about the fertilization in human beings. Though these animals lay hundreds of eggs and release millions of sperm, all the eggs do not get fertilized and develop into new individual. This is because the eggs and the sperm get exposed to water movement. So students, in external fertilization, as we have discussed that the amphibians like frog and fishes lay their eggs into the water, or we can say slow flowing streams or ponds. So after laid the eggs, the all sperms are not coming contact with all the eggs. So this is because the egg and sperm get exposed to water movement, and wind and rainfall also. There are other animals, the pond, which may feed on eggs. Thus production of large number of eggs and sperm is necessary to ensure fertilization of at least a few of them. Now we'll study about the fertilization in human beings. So in human beings, fertilization is internal. Millions of sperms are introduced into vagina of a female through penis during the mating. So the process of releasing sperm into vagina is called ejaculation. So the sperms are highly active and motile. They reach the fallopian tubes through the uterus, and one of the sperm fuse with the ovum, that is egg cell, in the fallopian tube to form a zygote. And after fertilization, a covering is formed around the fertilized egg, which prevent other sperm from entering into it. So how is development of embryo is done? Fertilization result in the formation of zygote, which begins to develop into an embryo, that is given in figure 9.8. The zygote formation and development of an embryo from the zygote. So the zygote divides repeatedly to give rise to a ball of cells. So the cells then begins to form group that develop into different tissues and organ of the body. So this developing structure is termed an embryo. The embryo gets embedded in the wall of uterus for further development, as you can see in the figure 9.8c. Developing embryo is given. So students, the zygote divides rapidly and form a ball of 100 of cells, and the cells then begin to form group that develop into different tissues and organs of the body. This developing structure is called embryo, and the embryo gets embedded in the wall of uterus for further development, and this is called implantation. The embryo continues to develop in the uterus, and it gradually develops body parts such as hands, legs, head, eyes and ears, etc. The stage of embryo in which all the body parts can be identified is called fetus. So the fetus is attached to the uterus by the special structure that is called placenta, and the placenta provide oxygen and nutrients to the fetus and also remove waste. So when the development of fetus is complete, the mother gives birth to the baby. So this is all about the development of embryo. The stage of the embryo in which all the body parts can be identified is called fetus, and when the development of fetus is complete, the mother gives birth to the baby. So the period of complete development of fetus from fertilization till the birth of baby is called gestation period, and it is about 9 months or 40 weeks in humans. So students, the internal fertilization take place in hens also. But do hens give birth to babies like human beings and cows? You know that they do not. Then how are chicks born? Let us find out. Soon after fertilization, the zygote divides repeatedly and travels down the oviduct. As it travels down, many protective layers are formed around it. The hard shell that you see in a hen's egg is one such protective layer. So after the hard shell is formed around the developing embryo, the hen finally lays egg, and the embryo takes about 3 weeks to develop into a chick. So you must have seen the hen sitting on the eggs to provide sufficient warmth. Did you know that development of the chick takes place inside the eggshell during this period? After the chick is completely developed, it bursts open the eggshell. In animals which undergo external fertilization, development of embryo takes place outside the female body. The embryos continues to grow within their egg coverings. After the embryos develop, the egg hatch, and you must have seen numerous tadpoles swimming in the ponds and streams. So students, development of embryo in hen. So in internal fertilization take place in hens also, but they do not give birth to young ones. And after fertilization, the zygote divide repeatedly and travel to oviduct, and then many protecting layers are formed around it. The hard shell that we see in a hen's egg is one such protective layer. And after the hard shell is formed around the developing embryo, the hen finally lays egg, and the embryo takes about 3 weeks to develop into chick. The hen sits on the eggs to provide sufficient warmth, and this is called incubation. And the development of chick take place inside the eggshell during this period. So when the chick is completely developed, it bursts open the eggshell. This is called hatching. So chick come out of eggshell and undergoes the development process. Similarly, young ones of insects, reptiles and other birds hatch from the eggs. So this is all about the development of embryo in hen. Now students will study about the different types of animals, that is viviparous and oviparous. We have learned that some animals give birth to young ones, with some animals lay eggs which later develop into young ones. So the animals which give birth to young ones are called viviparous animal, and those animals which lay eggs are called oviparous animals. The following activity will help you to understand better and differentiate between viviparous and oviparous. Try to observe eggs of the following organism: frog, lizard, butterfly or moth, hen and crow and any other bird. Were you able to observe eggs of all of them? Make drawings of the eggs that you have observed. So students, both in humans and hen, internal fertilization take place. Humans give birth to babies, whereas hens lay eggs. The animals like humans, dogs, cows and cats which give birth to young ones are called viviparous animals. Animals like frog, lizard, butterfly and hens which lay eggs are called oviparous animals. So the egg of few animals are easy to observe because their mother lay them outside their bodies. These are examples of oviparous animal. But you would not be able to collect the egg of a dog, cow or cat. This is because they do not lay eggs. The mother gives birth to the young ones. These are examples of viviparous animals. So students, this is all about the viviparous animal and oviparous animal. So students, in this video we will study this much. Thank you everyone.